Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to a happy Friday here on Kindness Rising. All week long, we've been talking about small steps, little bits of momentum, and today we're taking that idea to the highest form, and that is community momentum. You can take a step by yourself, but you build momentum when you move with others. Kindness Rising isn't just a show anymore. It's becoming a community, a rhythm, a circle. You can step into it just like I did with the mornings in the lab. I didn't walk into a crowd. I stepped onto a rink where people were already in motion onto that ice rink, and that made all the difference. Stick around. We're going to be talking about ice rinks. We're going to be talking about weird things happening in the back of Waymos, and we are going to be talking about kindness all morning long here on Kindness Rising. Happy Friday. Welcome in again to Kindness Rising. Okay.
This is Kindness Rising.
Holy moly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. When I first started showing up in mornings in the lab, it felt like stepping onto that ice rink for the first time. A little wobbly, a little unsure where to stand, a little nervous about falling flat in front of you and in front of everybody else. But here's what I also discovered is that communities don't require you to be talented. Communities require you just to be present, to be there, to build together, to lead the conversation, ask the question, and get up and get after it and say hello to people like Mike Sullivan, future life coach every day. Mike, I just appreciate you so much. I hope you're having a great Friday out there on the West Coast. Keep coming back. Get involved in the chat. Say hello. I hope you're having a great day for sure. For sure. All right. Here's the thing. The more I'm showing up here, the more momentum I'm getting. I'm feeling it. People are welcoming me, encouraging me, and cheering for me. And that feels like the kind of momentum that can help me to grow. It is growing. And that's what I hope that this becomes for you. I hope it becomes a place for you to get up with us in the morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, here on Kindness Rising. Get involved in the chat. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I am from upstate New York, and I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to bring you a little hope. Good morning, Matthew. Yes, good morning, Roseanne. It is good to see you here, of course, of course. Happy Friday to you, mother. All right. So yeah, we're building community the same way we used to when we were in ice rinks. Mom, you remember how much time did I spend at ice rinks, at the roller rink, at the skate estate, those kind of places. We're building that are community the same way we used to build there, one small step at a time, one small push at a time, the same way that you learn how to skate. Wobbly, not quite confident. In the business school world, when we talk about building teams, we talk about storming, forming, and norming. Eres del Psio. I have no idea what that means, but good morning into the soccer. I don't know. PSOE? I don't know. Is that something I'm supposed to know? I appreciate that you've come and spent some time with us here on Kindness Rising. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining again. And did you guys hear about? Oh, Mike, you're out there. You're out there in San Francisco, right? The Bay Area. Did you guys hear about what happened out there in a Waymo vehicle? No, perhaps you didn't, but a baby was born in the back of a Waymo self-driving vehicle on the way to the hospital. Skate smoothly, San Diego. Exactly. Oh, you lived in San Francisco before. Okay, got it. Um, absolutely. Yeah, game show host. That was my dream, and it's still not over. Dream's not over. I was actually just thinking about why couldn't I? Why couldn't I start a game show right here on YouTube, my own game show? I've been kicking that idea around as I trigger. It's not necessarily the I don't know. I have to think about it. I'm thinking about how to do it. I'm sure there are people who are doing it. I could probably find models out there, but if I do it, I want to do it good. So it's just that was a spark I had yesterday, actually. Mike Sullivan, an idea. Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyway, we were talking about San Francisco. Holy moly, man. A woman gave birth to a child in the back of a Waymo self-driving vehicle. Pretty amazing. By herself, gave birth on the way to the hospital. On the way to the hospital. What was interesting was that the vehicle somehow knows that something odd is going on and can notify the authorities. And by the time the Waymo response team got to where something weird was going on, I guess they were at the hospital and the baby had already been born. The woman gave live birth right in the back of the Waymo. The good news is that the baby is doing fine. The good news is that the mother is doing fine. The good news is Waymo came out with a message to say, yes, they took that vehicle out of service and had it cleaned. So I think that's probably good service. But I think they're changing the game. They're out there changing the game. They actually have shifted from ride sharing to human delivery. Oh God, human delivery. That's terrible. Yeah. So that was the story. I was like, whoa, can you imagine? Can you imagine the woman giving birth in the back of a vehicle? I mean, people give birth everywhere. But whatever, on the streets of San Francisco on her way to the hospital. All right. Good morning, Mark. Good morning. I am so glad you are here, Mark. I'm in Binghamton, New York, Southern Ontario. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm in Binghamton. So, yeah. You probably spent time, my guess would be, I don't know, Southern Ontario, is that over by Rochester, Buffalo, that part? I'm terrible with geography. I've said it 1,000 times. If ever in a trivia contest and you want to stump me and you have to give me a subject, choose geography. I will probably lose. So anyway, that's where we're at. Welcome in everybody to Kindness Rising. Happy Friday. I am glad you've chosen to spend your time here with me, Matt Roof. And thanks again. That's it. That is literally just it. Thank you.
Follow us here and subscribe to Kindness Rising on YouTube. The pony demands it.
All right. The Pony and Sensei demand it. No, please join. Subscribe to the network. Get involved in the comments. Subscribe to me right here at Kindness Rising, to this channel. Subscribe to the Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends Network, and get up with us every morning for a little energy, a little bit of fun. Keeping it light today a little bit, but we do talk about personal development. We talk about kindness. We talk about balance, action, self-awareness, growth, personal development in a fun and hopefully engaging way with you and with our friend Sensei Whiskers. Abbas, welcome in. Welcome, Abbas. I love that we are an international show here and that people are joining us from all over the world. From all over the world, technology has made it so that that is possible. Maybe people are learning English this way, so maybe some people are using a translation service. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We probably all could learn a little something like that. Those of us who speak English as our primary language and the only language. I mean, I can pick through some words of Spanish and French and that kind of thing. But most of the world outside of the United States, they learn multiple languages. But for some reason here in North America, we've I don't know. I don't want to get political, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Welcome in everybody to Kindness Rising, where we always multiply kindness and unlock growth for good people doing good work. And I am glad to do that today with today's Kindness Spotlight, featuring the Good Neighbor Movement, an organization that helps people build micro communities through tiny acts of connection, block by block, conversation by conversation. They believe that big community momentum is built from tiny behaviors repeated often: a hello, a check-in, a moment of presence. It presents, it mirrors exactly how our Kindness Rising community is forming. That is the Good Neighbor Movement. I know you all out there in Kindness Rising land are good neighbors. Like a good neighbor. No, I shouldn't be singing that. That's not our theme. We don't have a theme. Anybody out there want to write the Kindness Rising theme? I've had music before. It's more of a distraction for me to try to keep the production going of the music. If I had a producer, perhaps I'd bring more music into the vibe. But it allows me to be more present when I don't have to think about, oh, I got to click this on, and I got to click that off, and maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting way more confident on the buttons than I ever was before because I leaned into and continue to lean into progress over perfection and learning to not really care that much. I mean, I care deeply, but not care to. Does that make sense? Engaged in difference. I pay attention to what I want to pay attention to. The people here who want to spread positivity, who want to be part of the community, who want to help each other out, want to show up every day. And I also don't care what the haters say, or people say you can't do that, or question what I'm doing, or whatever. So I care, but I don't care. But I do care about our Be Kind Rewind, which is when we talk a little bit about our lives growing up, perhaps an object, a moment, a place where we connect and have some little bit of nostalgia moments to think back and connect back to our subject matter. It's just the way I think I'd like to think about the influences that were in my life, and oh, remember that, and oh yeah, now I see how that fit in or didn't fit in, or remembering a moment or a person or whatever the case may be. Take that and move it forward. And today I am talking about one of the places where I spent going around and around and around in circles. Free skate at the ice rink, heading over to the roller rink at night, meeting up with friends, in that middle school and early high school years. I spent a lot of time at a place called Skate Estate here in the Binghamton, New York area. I spent obviously a ton of time, not obviously, I'm telling you, I spent a ton of time in ice rinks, playing hockey, focused on hockey, watching hockey, free skating, just hanging out. Yep. It was what I did. And why is that important? Because before we had social media, before we had live streams or creative networks, we had the rink, roller rinks, ice rinks, and they were the original social places for me. One of the key social places. I don't know if it's the original, but definitely a key social place for me. And the thing is, as far as the skating, as far as getting around, you didn't need talent to belong. You didn't need the right clothes or the right friends. You didn't even need to know how to skate. People were in groups. You fit in. Everybody went to the skate estate, and it was uh, it was a microcosm of the world we're building here at Kindness Rising, which is one of uh, community built through momentum and through movement, circling together, sometimes holding on as tight as we can, and sometimes spinning backwards, but always laughing and having a good time. Absolutely. Welcome to Kindness Rising. We appreciate everyone who has come in here today as we talk about skating. There was always a DJ, someone uh, who's just setting the tone or the vibe or the rhythm. And I could remember even back then knowing who was working the music, working in the concession stands, which people I may not have known them, but oh, that was a cool guy who plays this, that, and the other. Um, and that's what we do every day here on Kindness Rising. Welcome in, Disney fan 747. Heard of my singing monsters? No, what are your singing monsters, Disney fan 747? Tell me about your singing monsters. I'm willing to try anything as long as it's kind. All right, Fred. Cool. Good luck. Hey man, I've been there, dude. Been there. It's about collecting coins and buying monsters. Oh, okay, got it. I never heard of it. Never heard of it. The Rangers won the Stanley Cup in '94. Oh boy. Sully, you're bringing back a great memory for me. You saw Messier sitting in his car. No, I wasn't at the rink when the Rangers won the Stanley Cup in '94. I remember exactly where I was though. It was about a week after I graduated from college, my bachelor's degree. And in the home that I grew up in, there was a spare bedroom, and in that spare bedroom was a little TV. It was right across from my bedroom. I didn't have a TV in my own bedroom, but across the way there was a little bedroom that had a TV in it. And I remember watching the Rangers hoist the cup from that from that room, and jumping up and down and holy shitting, I can't believe it, and all that stuff. Definitely, those are moments, those sports moments that are locked in your head, right? I remember where I was each time the Giants have won the Super Bowl. You remember where you are in those moments. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I did love the rink. I do love the rink, and I love the community of the rink. And even my kids, when I go back and I take my kids skating, or when they were little and I would take them skating, the vibe of community for some reason, particularly at an ice rink, in my experience, maybe it's my own bias in some way, but um, people they're just there to have fun, and I just love the smell of it and the whole thing. Um, but anyway, that's not the point of it. The point is that uh I don't know what the point is. The point is we're moving together in momentum as a community, moving around in a circle. When the music comes up, we get up and get going. When the music comes down, we go down together. But it's that's the connection. That's the connection I'm making. So I hope that you make that same connection too. I believe that Sensei Whiskers is as well.
A strong community is like a good rink. Everyone moves better when someone brave goes first.
So momentum is contagious?
Yes, but so are dramatic wipeouts. Choose wisely.
Dramatic wipeouts. I've had a few of those myself. Here's my funny dramatic wipeout, vulnerable conversation. Not vulnerable. It's just silly, embarrassing moments. We all have them in our life. So I go off to college after, and I was in whatever my freshman year in college, meeting people who had never been on ice before, people coming from other places, never skating and things weren't part of what their lives were. But there in the town where I went to college, there was an outdoor rink, semi-outdoor rink, and we decided, all right, let's go skating, right? And here comes Hot Shot Matt, got his own skates. Everybody else had to rent, but I brought my skates, and I got my whatever. I'm a pretty solid skater, but of course I had to screw around and skate really fast and be the, whatever. And I tried to snow stop, and hard, and I fell so hard in front of, like, I was trying to spray the girls, of course. It's what you do when you're 18 and you're a hot shot skater. Oh, I bit it so hard. So hard. I think I can still feel the pain in my elbow from hitting that ice. I was flying. Um, Caught an edge and just bit it. It was bad. Anyway, if you've ever skated and you've been at those skating, you know what it's like to fall in front of the group of people. But of course, those people are still some of my best friends. They picked me up, we laughed, and we got on. Probably had a beer over it and got on with life. But anyway, that's my embarrassing story. Not being afraid to fall down. Absolutely. And the momentum builds when we move together. Thank you so much for joining me all week long here at Kindness Rising. I keep coming back, so I will be back on Monday for sure. For sure. We always do like to give you a little something to take away with you. We call it our kindness compass. These are 4 tiny steps to build community momentum today. Show up consistently. Showing up consistently builds trust through repetition. That's what I do every day when I show up here at Kindness Rising. Engage intentionally. That is building noticing people, remembering, responding with care. Absolutely. Disney fan 747. I will check out the game because I check out everything. I don't know. Is it an app? Is it an app? I don't know. And I hope that Fred is feeling better, cleaned up, and getting over back with us. All right, there's my intentional engagement. I do engage intentionally. I enjoy it. Inviting other ends. You are all invited, of course. Yeah, Mom, I know. I'm sure I know it now as a parent. I know it not the way that I didn't know it when I was in it, but I can imagine some of the situations that I was in on the ice, on the field, in places as a parent were like, "Oh my God. Okay. This is what's happening now. All right." Scrums, fights, getting knocked down, getting back up, hitting people, yelling, whatever. Those, I mean, hockey's a violent sport, football's a violent sport, lacrosse also can be violent. So, not violent, but it's part of the sport, part of the game. So, and I'm sure as a parent, because I know I had kids who didn't have volleyball, basketball, softball, not necessarily basketball. There's a little banging around, of course. Um, but watching your kid, it's like you're dangling on tightrope, man. Nothing you can do but watch your kid get up there and either succeed or fail and get knocked down. And there's nothing you can do but hold your breath. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So yeah, I was saying these are the tiny ways uh, we talked about showing up consistently. We talked about engaging time, inviting others in. That's what I'm doing here, inviting you in to join the community at Kindness Rising and at Mornings in the Lab Network. I just appreciate anyone who wants to spend some time with us, sharing the positivity, talk about the things that you love to do, that you're interested in, as long as they are kind, as long as they are positive, and as long as you're cool about it. That's what we do here within our community. No judgment, only interest and curiosity. And lastly, celebrating the small contributions. Community expands through appreciation. Everybody who makes every comment that drops into the chat, every subscription, every moment of laughing at myself, all those things, that's where community builds through that appreciation. I celebrate everyone who comes here and gets up and after it with us every single day. I appreciate you. You have no idea. Maybe you do. Maybe you could have an idea if you chose to have a show of your own, which is what we can do to help you here at Kindness Rising. I'm obviously looking at something. I'm not so smooth about not being distracted while I am boo. We're having a good time now. All right. Ah, okay. There we go. I was checking out what Kate. Ooh, I'm looking at a thing that says Kate Winslet on it, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I am here to talk about what's going on over at Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. The escapism trap. Why men are checking out. Absolutely. And he's going to be doing some comparison between Aquaman and Lobo. So I don't know what that means, but that is going to be interesting. I am sure of it. It's always an interesting conversation when Keith and John and the crew over at Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends get going, talking about just about anything. Absolutely. And that's what we talked about today. It's been a week of small steps every day, taking that small step towards improvement, towards becoming the person that you want to be. That is what I am doing every step as I go. Community grows the same way that momentum does, through tiny steps taken together. No one skates alone, no one grows alone, and no one rises alone. We're building that space right here, one day at a time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, here on Kindness Rising. I will be back on Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. I know that you will too. But until then, as always, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.